I'm going to allow your page too, so if you want to check it.
Yeah.
You want to hear you want me to get? Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power and
Power
power
by
by
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh
Yahushua,
by
by
Hashem,
Hashem,
Hakodash.
Hakodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, and his son's name, who the world innately called Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Also give praises, honor, and glory to the Yahweh Hakodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. We want to say shalom to all you sincere hearted Akim Walkwat, that you brothers and sisters make your bodies a sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. Also want to give double honor to our beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us the truth and who rule well. And got the beloved priests
Amathia, Shalom.
and myself, Brother Osmond Wath, here from Great Millstone Dallas Camp. Just going to do a quick lesson this afternoon. Very brief, just something that the priest, was making mention of, something that as he was watching, well, you could tell him. Vocab.
Yeah, watching vocab, he was going into like I say, the origin of like the way they call Hebrew Israelism, you know what I'm saying, and the One West, and how, and tries to go into Albert Bivens and going into the history, and he kept mentioning the radical Black Hebrew Israelites, and that's the thing that we see, that these Edomites, they throw in that word radical to make it seem like it's an extreme or basically a group that's does too much, or is a derogatory term.
Yeah, black and radical.
Yeah, exactly.
Which how many times, starting with the apostles, bishops, elders, and the men on down, he keep having to, correct, you people, and tell you that we're not black. First and foremost, black is a color. Black it means to be void of light. It has everything to do with the negative connotation, man, of being evil, wicked, sadistic. Which ain't no black brothers in the camp. You got brothers of all different type of shades and pigments, man. And you got our Hispanic brothers, Latino tribes, you got Native Americans, all different. You got particular brothers in the camps that can pass for looking like Edomites, man.
Yeah.
You see, so but Esau knows that. He watches the videos, he knows what we teach and everything, but this is a part of the accuser at the brethren at work. He's setting up this narrative. He's categorizing us, as it says in Revelation 12 and 10. Speaks about the accuser of the brethren, which when you go into that word accuser in the Greek is kategoreo, which that's where you get that word category. So he has to basically put us in a box, in the form of his rhetoric, using particular labels and words, to where when you hear these words and labels such as black or extremists or radicals or cult, you associate these things with the way the God of this world has proposed these talking points, man, and you just associate it with wickedness and evil.
Right. They're about that blinding the mind of the Israelites, because when you say that word black, if someone like in the Northern Kingdom, the first thing they think of, well, they don't include me. So that's what they do with constantly always trying to keep a division from the Northern and Southern Kingdom, because someone that just coming to this understanding or hearing about Hebrew Israelites, we know a lot of people have heard about it, and majority of the world have heard. But the thing is, if you just not hearing it, when you keep hearing somebody say black, they be like, well, they don't include me, so that's a part also of that division, that he try to keep, trying to cut us off from knowing who is who, so that's a term that Esau will constantly try to keep using to try to keep that division amongst the Israelites from the northern and southern kingdom.
You got that definition?
Yeah, I'm going to this Google meaning of the word radical. Okay, it says radical. It says the word radical generally refers to something that goes to the root, origin, or fundamental basis of a subject. Hey, like I said, that root, that origin. Okay, so you being someone that's radical, you're going into what a subject that you basically are going back to the origin from the origination from, and we actually go into what the origin of what being Israelites. You know, going all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Lord made that covenant, even going back to the time of the garden. Those spirits that basically came out of that garden and basically populated the earth after the flood, coming back into those Noah and his three sons, and those lineage that is found from there. And that's where Yahweh Shai, like I say, over made that covenant through what? The line of Shem, all right, and like I said, it goes all the way to what? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and those and Jacob's 12 sons. So that's the origin of it. So you basically when you're learning, you're being radical when you're passionate, you understand these things, all right. So you can't say that that's a derogatory term when you're basically going back to the root of things, because the root is something that what? The start of something that's gonna grow. You know, if you put something in the ground like a seed, what happens? It sprouts and it develops roots. And after it develops roots, as it grows deep into the ground, what? You have the plant that comes out of the ground, okay, to receive what? That light. And that's what we're receiving as being so-called radicalists. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be technical with it, yeah, we're radicals for this word. We're radical for this truth. We're radicals for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And we're supposed to give warning. You know what I'm saying? Being radicalists. And you look at it, if you are deeply rooted into something, you're deeply rooted like Christians. They're radicalists for what? Their Christianity. So how can you say we're radical? So you're radical, even like with Vocal Malone. You're radical. You're a radical Christian. You know, if you want to stick to it, if you want to put like that and be in the actual technical term. So it's really not a derogatory term, but they try to make it because people don't like to go back and look at words, and they don't have to get no understanding of these things.
Because they're taking the God of this world's talking points and narrative, you know, and viewpoint as it pertains to, you know, and see, that's why, you know, the Spirit is upon our apostles and the men on down that's learned from these men to go into words. So what the preachers went into this morning, going to that word radical. We go into the etymology of words, which when you go to the word etymology, it means the study of truth. You know, the truth of words, man. You see? And so through the God of this world having, you know, pretty much free reign to coin particular words and change meanings and definitions of things, that's a part of his enchantments, man. You see? Yeah, like the priest said, just like they do with the word hate, right? Hate just simply means to have a strong dislike. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're just gonna go out and go murder somebody. You know, that doesn't, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things okay, a brother may hate mayonnaise. Does that mean every time he go into the grocery store,
breaking all
he see all the fucking mayonnaise, he just throw them on the ground? Man, I fucking mayonnaise. You know, no, it just mean I don't like that shit. I'm gonna stay away from it. You know, so yeah, man. But that's a perfect example, bro. Another word that the God of this world has, you know, pretty much, you know, revamped the definition or remix the definition of it to where now when people hear that word hate, they just, you know, they cringe, you know, like when we say that we hate so-called white people, we hate Edomites, you know, Esau, he takes that as like, oh, we ready to go chop off every Edomite's head. But, you know, particular brother, man, we work around Edomites. Hell, we have decent conversation. We have better conversation with Edomites than we do it with a lot of our own people. You know, now don't get it twisted. You know, don't get it twisted. We still hate the motherfuckers. You know, and we know the judgment that they're going to receive. You know, via Yahweh by Shema Shah and the Lord's men. Okay, once Yahweh Shah comes back, but hey, man, we apply wisdom, man. You see, and that's something that this world is lacking and void of, man, is wisdom. You know, but you got some?
This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 1 and verse 20. I'm gonna start at verse 19. It says, wisdom reigneth down, skill and knowledge of understanding standing.
Skill. It says it reigneth down skill, man. Part of this word, man, hey, and part of having this word and this truth, man, you become skillful in life. Because, you know, man, I can speak for myself, you know, growing up, you know, in America, Babylon the Great, man. You know, you a young Jake, man, you living in the South, you didn't learn how to live life with skill,
No.
with tact, you know, with decency. You know, we were just living like natural brute beasts, but now with this wisdom raining down upon us, now we're skillful with the words we speak. Scripture speaks about, you know, seasoning your words with salt. You know, you're skillful in the way how you know everything, all the way you deal with women, the way you dress, the way you bring out the word. You know, every facet in your life is skillful now.
Right.
But that's all via the wisdom that Yahweh Shema Shai has given unto us, man. You see, look at these people out here in the world. They're not skillful and tactful in their life. You know, they're sloppy. You know, niggas are sloppy, man.
Right.
You know, smelling like a goddamn skunk. You know, smoking weed, like, you know, no tact. No, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, that's pretty much the word. Yeah, no tact, man.
Yeah.
You see? Because they're void of the light, they're void of wisdom.
Right.
See? So vocab, he ain't going into the positive things, the fruits, okay, that this word is produces out of us, man. You actually got brothers reading the Bible, brothers that changed their lives, turning away from idols. We're not committing adultery. We're not eating these abominable foods. See, but these Edomites, man, they want you, and not just Esau, but all these heathens, man. Okay, they want Jake to stay in that dumb, untactful, unskillful lifestyle to where you just a reprobate because they know that you're detached from your power and they can continue to rule and reign over you, man.
That's right. Like it says, wasn't writing down as a skill. What is a skill? Is something that you can't just snap it to a Slim Jim and be like, I got it. A skill is something that you have to constantly go over in repetition. You develop a skill.
Right.
You know, that's why the Lord said, study to show thyself approved. That's constantly studying to get into the scriptures, get into words, learning. When you get to develop a skill, you're learning it as you go through. You know, that's why like Apostle Gabar like to say you can't teach experience. Skill comes from over a period of time. It becomes more of an experience. So that skill is something that's raining down to receive that knowledge, wisdom, and knowledge to be the stability of our time, the strength of our salvation, as it goes into Isaiah. That is not something that you just wake up and get. A talent is something that it's just something you get. But a skill is something that you constantly develop. You can have talent without skill.
Yeah.
You know, but you can develop to increase that talent by what? Developing that skill you do. You know,
because a lot of Jake in the hood, they got talents, but a lot of Jake, they're naturally talented when it comes to music or comes to any type of form of art, comes with sports, but they're still living life as a beast,
right?
You know, because they don't have that skill. They don't know skill. Basically, teaches you when, where, why, and how to apply the knowledge and the talent that the Most High put inside of you, man. You know, so this is what the Spirit is giving unto us, man. Along with this wisdom, He's given us skill,
right?
To where now we know how and when and where to apply the knowledge, man. You know, because Jake got knowledge. You know, anybody can get knowledge. You can teach anybody anything,
right?
You know, but wisdom is knowing how to apply that knowledge,
right?
You know,
back in Sirach 1:19, it says, "Wisdom rained down skill and skill of understanding, standing." And exalted them to honor that hold her fast.
Exalted them to honor, man. And that's what we're seeking. But we understand before that honor comes humility.
Right.
You know, but those radicals for Yahweh Shai, those men that stand stiffly for the Lamb, second Ezra, the second chapter, you know, the prophet Ezra received that vision. He says, he saw the multitude of those that stood stiffly for the Lamb, those that are radical for Yahweh Shai. Right. Those are the ones that's going to be exalted unto honor, man.
That's right.
See, only the radicals for Yahweh Shai is going to be exalted to honor. So to hell with vocab, to hell with these Edomites and their words, to hell with this English language. See, that's another snare, man. Is fucking English language, bro. That has enchanted the minds of a lot of people, man. You know.
That's right.
Hey, a lot of our go into the history, go into the archives, man. It was a very well documented statement, or saying from our foreparents that they'll rather eat swine than speak Greek. Going to show you how abominable, these different languages are, man. Greek, Latin, anything outside of Hebrew. And when Yahweh Shah comes back, a part of the earth being refreshed, we're going to go back into the original language, man, which is Hebrew, the language of Canaan. See? And that's another problem that Hokab Malone and all these other so-called Christians in this world has, man. And they try to downplay and negate downplay, the ancient Paleo Hebrew, but that's fine.
Yeah,
it's not for them right now, but they're gonna be forced to teach it, man. So like they're gonna be forced to speak it in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right. Verse 20, Sirach 1, it says, the root of wisdom is the fear of the Lord.
It's their root.
Yep.
Radical.
That's radical. So basically that, like you said, that root is that wisdom. So that wisdom is what? That wisdom is we're radicals for the, you got to be a radical to have to fear the Lord. Basically going back to that wisdom, having that skill. So fearing the Lord is not something you're just gonna just develop like, you know what, I fear the Lord. No, it's a skill. It's something that when you go through the scriptures and you get that understanding, it brings more fear to you.
By definition, Noah would have been likened to a radical.
Mm-hmm.
If Hokab Malone was to see Noah, he's a radical. Well, Noah was a radical, okay? Because he went. The brother just, can you read that definition for radical again?
This is back into the definition of radical. It says the word radical generally refers to something that goes to the root, origin, or fundamental basis of a subject.
Come on, man. Is that not how Noah conducted his life? It says through the fear of the Lord, he prepared an ark to the saving of his soul, man. And the preachers got that scripture in Sirach 1, how the fear of the Lord is the root.
Yep.
See? Okay. Which goes directly to the definition for radical. So Noah, he was a radical.
Yep.
Okay. And Noah is the remnant is likened to coming again in the same stead as Noah when you read the book of Sirach, the 44th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So that means what? The remnant, the elect of the nation of Israel, they as well will be radicals, man.
Yep.
Yahweh Shah was a radical. How about that?
Yep. I'm just quickly Hebrews 11:7. It says, by faith Noah being warned of Yahweh's of the Most High, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear. Okay, so with them being a radical, it made him move a certain way because he had that fear. All right, it says, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir to the righteousness which is by faith.
And that's what we're doing. Lord willing, we're part of that number, but each spiritual, blow of the hammer, as we're, building this spiritual ark, we're condemning this place, man.
Yeah.
And that's why Hokab and all these, flunkies, they got, shit to talk, man, because they, in their spirits, they feel condemned.
Right.
As we're preparing this ark like Noah did, each and every day Noah was preparing that ark, he was condemning the world as he was preaching, man. See, so these people, we're raining on their parade. They're like, damn, the gig's up,
That's right.
But see, the thing is, this is not of men. This is from Yahweh by Shema Shai. So it's going to continue to flourish, man. But all these, man-made religions and ideas and philosophies is coming to naught. Okay, even amongst the the Israelite camps, man. A lot of these camps, they're coming to naught. Why? Because it's of men. The Most High didn't. The only building that Yahweh by Shema Shai is concerned about is the house of David. Anything outside the house of David, man, hey, he's tearing that shit apart right now, man.
Yep. That's why, like I said, in Mark 40, they didn't want to be on that good ground. They want to be on that stony ground because they take the root of something or the origin, and the fundamental things, and they try to change it. That's why you see all these camps being broke down and basically come to naught, because they're not basically staying rooted in what? The fundamental things, the origins. They don't want to listen to their leaders. They take a little bit of that milk and they try to develop their own meat. They're doing what Esau's doing. They making imitation meat. They're making 3D meat out of the word.
Lab grown doctrine.
Yeah, lab grown doctrine.
Nigga came up with that shit in his coffee room, in lunch break room at work.
Yeah.
Lab grown doctrine.
Yeah.
Nigga, you know what I mean? Nigga at the bar after work, he drinking. And like, man, you know what? I think the mark of the beast is a seafood boil.
Right.
Nigga, that's a lab grown doctrine. What the fuck? I think the mark of the beast is sleeping on white women. Lab grown doctrines, man. GMO doctrine.
Yep, no nutrients in that doctrine. No nutrients.
But see, only niggas eat GMOs. You know, which, hey, you know, we all eat GMOs because we eat our bread the fat. But I'm speaking spiritually right now. You know, niggas love lab grown doctrines, man. Hey, scripture, can you get that? I think it's in Proverbs 15. It says fools feed on trash. It's in the NLT.
Oh, it's in the NLT?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Try verse 10, Baba Mashah. See what that say.
Proverbs 15.
These bottom feeding ass niggas, man. Just eating up any old doctrine that you know, that they hear today. You know? Gentiles can make it. You know? Yeah. Esau can get a new body. You're gonna have Bill Gates up in the chariot right along with Yahushua and the King. Man, fuck out of here, bro. Yeah. But Jake believe that shit because they're fucking bottom feeders, man. They eat on anything. You found it?
This is Proverbs 15 and 14. It says the wise person is hungry for knowledge.
A wise person, the elect, they're hungry for knowledge, man. Hey, what do Yahushua say in Matthew 5 in the Beatitudes? He says, "Blessed are they who are hungry and thirsty after righteousness, for they shall be filled." See, because they're hungry after righteousness. The hopeful elect is not hungry after no bullshit to the point to where they just eat any old doctrine, man. You know, sheep need healthy, nutrient dense, you know, foods, man. You got it.
It says a wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash.
See that? While the fool feeds on trash, man. That's Jake. Some trashy ass niggas, they eating on trash. See? Like a few examples we just brought out. The mark of the beast is a seafood boil. If I say John the Baptist is a plate of fish, pass me the hot sauce, and niggas still eat that shit up, man. Because they fools.
Right.
You know? Amongst many other dumb, blasphemous statements that these wicked Jakes have been, you know, saying, man, for all these years. But we're in time now to where the Lord's about to shut the mouths of all these, you know, gainsayers and detractors and false prophets, man. We in a time of judgment, man.
That's right.
You know, look what the fuck going on, bro. Iran just announced again that they closing the Strait of Hormuz again today. You know, like the Lord ain't playing, bro. When they shall cry peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. We're about to really see what it looks like for the least of the flock to draw them out. See, because as much as America wants to kind of get out of the involvement of World War III, the least of the flock, the state of Israel is going to keep egging them on. You know, because they're like, man, we ain't, the state of Israel is like, man, we ain't with these fucking peace negotiation talks, man. No, we want the smoke. See, but America gotta stay allied unto them, man, because one, America's fucking owned by the Zionist regime, by the state of Israel, man. So they got it. So they're gonna be led out to World War III. See, so the Lord got this place in the snare, man. He says it in Jeremiah 50, I have laid a snare for thee, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. And all you wicked ass Jakes that's making a covenant with death and hell, making a covenant with this beast system, you're gonna go down with it, man. So fuck what Esau got to say. Okay, call us radicals. That's cool, man. And they're gonna throw out every so-called, you know, hateful word in the book. They're gonna call us radicals, extremists. But you know what? That was really compliments, man. Because you should be extreme about this truth. You should be extreme about Yahweh Shemal Shah and righteousness and order being reestablished upon the earth. If you're not extreme about that, man, fuck you. Yeah, you got it.
This is Proverbs 12 and 3. It says, "The man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved." Hey, and like I said, so the root of the righteous shall not be moved. So why is that? Because they're ingrained, they're deeply rooted into what? The truth. They're deeply rooted in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So these things that they're that's happening in the world, we're not going to be moved by it. The move that Esau is making, we're not going to be moved by it, because you have, like you say, you have some camp. They try to, you know, we don't want to be, when Esau come down on us, to come down on us that hard. So we got to basically say we good. You know, they want to try to stay in the gray area. The Lord says no gray areas. You want to stay in, like, give the people the word, but don't want to give them this full truth. The Lord said if you adding or taking away from this, you're going to still receive those same plagues. You're going to receive those plagues that the heathen and the Edomites are going to receive. Why I say heathen Edomites? Because you got the 16 nations of heathen, and then you have the wicked is in the category of themselves, which is who? The Edomites. So you're gonna receive those plagues. So you can't, it's no gray area. And the same thing where they trying to say, okay, we're gonna change his name, they trying to soften the blow. It don't, regardless, you still gonna receive when Esau come down, they can be like, well, still you still an Israelite, they can still come down on you. Because Esau knew he's got a great time, and one thing about him, he want to exterminate all of Israel. He's trying to cut that root out. He's trying to cut the Israelite out because he want to continue on his blessing.
You know?
So it's no, you ain't gonna be saved by changing the doctrine or you trying to lighten the blow.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So a man should not be established by wickedness. Okay. And I'm gonna read that in the NLT. It says wickedness never brings stability. All right.
Yeah, that's why niggas' lives are chaotic because they're wicked.
Yep.
You know, the so-called average black family, you know, so-called black household is chaotic. Is that what it said?
Oh, what it said, wickedness never brings stability.
It never brings stability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why, you know, we didn't grow up in these stable households, man, because it was established by wickedness.
Right.
You know, your mother kicking your father out so she could receive some type of benefits from the government or, you know, whatever, man. So all Jake knows is instability, a toxic culture, you know, and chaos.
Yeah.
See, but coming into this truth, man, as we've been called into this truth by mercy, man, now we're learning order. Now we're learning stability. Now we're going back to the foundation, to the basis, to the root of things, which causes you to be a radical. So we just got that word radical. It means to go into the root.
Yep.
To go into the root, man.
Being stable, that foundation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't rocky, it ain't shaky.
Yep.
So when you get that root and you deeply rooted and you set up a strong, stable foundation, it shouldn't be moved. You can go through earthquakes, go through bad storms, wind. You still stay up. It's not crumbling. You know, so that root, the stability, that foundation is a vital part of something that you're building.
That's it. So yeah, man, we just wanted to get into that this morning. You know, Abaratazah, or this afternoon rather. So Abaratazah, this was edifying unto the hopeful elect. Until next time, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Gosh. Want to give double honor to our beloved apostle, Elder Great Millstone, Shalom. The water for the precepts.
Stay radical.
Yeah, stay radical.